It's almost the weekend, so let's get over to Chris with a look at our weather.
Well, a lot going on this weekend, Mackenzie. Overall, I would say it's going to be a good one if you want to get outside and do something. Just a few little hazards we need to be mindful of. We'll discuss that. Let's start with current temperatures. It's above normal for the eastern side of the state. We're already to 90 at the airport in Denver, 93 in Lamar, 60s and 70s in the high country, so definitely more comfortable up that way. Cruising through the 80s over on the western slope. Melinda Lee, she's our weather watcher outside of Boulder. She is already at 80 degrees there in Sunshine Canyon. Most of the state is dry. Let's fly down and look at New Mexico. There's a little bit of weather cruising through that state, and the very northern fringe of that is grazing our southern counties. So we are seeing a couple of showers and storms trying to pop up there in the higher terrain just to the west of Trinidad, and that trend will continue into the afternoon. Here's the Futurecast. If we see storm activity today, it's mostly going to be confined to areas along and south of Interstate 70 in southeastern Colorado. Right down here, you have the best chance to see organized weather. If a storm pops at your location, it would be short-lived, mostly wind, but extreme southern Colorado could see a brief area of moderate rain if a storm rolls through that part of the state. All right, second piece of the forecast, smoke. It does look like it's going to sneak back into the state tonight, but especially through the day on Saturday. We'll go to 5 p.m. here. Areas along and north of I-70 stand the best chance to see smoke, and the highest potential is in northwestern Colorado, places like Meeker, Craig, and Steamboat Springs. So unfortunately, smoke may return. Nationally, Ida just reached hurricane status. It's about to cross the western tip of Cuba, and unfortunately, it looks like it's going into Louisiana later this weekend as a Cat 3 hurricane. Other side of the country of Mexico is Tropical Storm NORA. And take a look at this path. It's expected to go right along the coast of Mexico into the Gulf of California. And as we move into next week, we kind of talked about that at the top of the show. Moisture from NORA expected to flow into here. This would be the equivalent of a really healthy dose of monsoon moisture. So that means we would go back into flash flood watch and paying very close attention to our mountain areas. So, and that's approaching the Labor Day weekend. So that's why we're telling you in advance so we can all watch it together. So we'll warm a few more degrees today. We're going well into the 90s here on the eastern plains and out west, 70s and 80s in Colorado's high country. Here's that 5-day forecast. We get a slight cool down Sunday. So Mackenzie, if you're like me and you prefer slightly cooler weather, that will be your day. We do see a couple of chances for thunderstorms over the weekend with a little smoke coming back. But all in all, it's really the middle of next week that we're going to be really worried about as we potentially see moisture from what is Tropical Storm NORA.
All right, a lot going on. Thanks so much for breaking it down, Chris.